let's get on to my topic. I don't know how long it'll go because I think only Mao and I have any experience with this, but I've been
Bloodborne.
heard about Bloodborne totally. So, I want to talk about how much I wanted Bloodborne too. About 2 weeks ago, I started, as you know, felt like brave and loyal listeners of this podcast. I am a big fan of shonen manga and anime, and I have recently picked up one that's been doing pretty well and is fairly
Finally broke
popular.
you down.
Yeah, I finally started reading it. I'd been meaning to start it for a while. I just never got around to it. Just like Haikyuu, which I still haven't gotten started watching. I want to watch the anime of that, though. But Dr. Stone, which is great. I've really been enjoying it. It's written by Inagaki Riichiro, who is the author of Ashtel 21, which I think Mao is a fan of.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites.
And Boichi is the illustrator. He was the mangaka for Sunken Rock.
Yep.
But it has amazing art.
Oh yeah.
That's probably like one of the best things about Dr. Stone. It's like an interesting take on shonen because it's not a traditional action battle manga. I mean, you'll see non-traditional battle manga in Shounen Jump a lot. This is a Shounen Jump manga, by the way. But this one does it a little differently. It's weird. It's just more kind of sci-fi. So yeah, heavy science fiction. I'm on chapter 46. I think there's like 60-something chapters now, 70-something. But basically...
70.
Yeah, 70. So basically, to give like a brief synopsis of what the manga is about, I want to put in quotes here, main character, Taju, is confessing to a girl this girl he likes, and basically right before he's about to get up the gumption and tell her he loves her and he wants to go out with her, everybody in the world instantly turns into stone. And 3,000 years go by, and he manages to break free from his petrification. He runs into one of his friends, whose name's Senku, who was basically like a nerdy scientist kid back before they all got turned to stone. And they're
the smartest person in existence.
Exactly, and they basically resolved to free Taju's crush, whose name is Yuzuria, I think, something along those lines. They want to break her out of her stone, so they basically start trying to find out ways to free people from petrification. How are we going to do this? Senku, of course, knows that he can mix up this chemical, so a lot of the early part of the manga is gathering these things they need to break people out of stone. They end up running into, I think it's a pack of lions or something. They get attacked by, and they have to run. And they basically stumble across this guy they had heard about or knew before they were petrified, whose name's Tsukasa.
The strongest high schooler in the
Yeah, the strongest high schooler, and he's a badass. So they're like, all right, we gotta unpetrify him and get him out of here, and he'll protect us from the lions. So they do it. He beats up the lions, but Tsukasa is not a good person at all. He starts like murdering people who are petrified.
Well, yeah, he starts breaking the statues, which means they can't be freed.
Yep, and effectively
he wants to create a kingdom without science.
Yeah, a kingdom without science and technology, which he views as evil. He's very much of might makes right. Like, I want strong people who are ignorant but loyal to me, and we'll make a strong country. Exactly. This contrasts with Senku, who is all about
science.
Science. He wants to basically bring humanity back to where it was before everything went to shit. And something interesting that the manga does is, I think this was because of the editors, probably. It completely Taju, and they end up unpetrifying Yuzuria, and basically the main character Taju and her go off.
Ship them away.
And they're gone. They're gone. They get on the bus and they go off.
Yep.
And the manga completely shifts tone and becomes about Senku. And Senku's basically going to start a new kingdom, the Science Kingdom. And he's got to fight off Tsukasa when Tsukasa eventually comes.
It's a lot of like trying to develop different technologies using what he can just gather.
Yeah.
And in ridiculous ways, but like not like, I don't know. There's some ridiculousness to it, but all the like science is sound.
Yeah, it does really interesting explanations of the science and stuff. There'll literally be like a half a chapter dedicated to like, this is how like they have to make an electricity generator. So he's like, this is how this is going to work. And he basically like ends up running into like a small group of people in a little village or whatever. And he's like, I'm going to make this my science kingdom, but I got to like convince these what are essentially primitives like that I'm not a sorcerer.
These are you find out these are people who were not just also turned to stone, but have been. So there's like some mystery behind that. Like, but they have no understanding of technology
at all. They think it's sorcery. He runs into another guy who calls himself a sorcerer too. They have like a little sorcerer duel. Basically, where they have a science off.
Yeah, like different chemical reactions, basically.
Yeah, he has. I think he has some kind of like sulfur or something that he's throwing in fire.
Yeah,
and making it pop.
He's collected a bunch of different like rocks
stones and stuff. And so basically like Senku beats him in their little duel, and he's basically trying to like get the people on his side in his science kingdom. And he does stuff like invents ramen again to like get like some of the people in. There's like a really old man who's like an artisan. He's like, we got to build like a smithy and make iron. So there'll be like a chapter where they have to like, basically he figures out or finds rocks that are magnetized, and he uses them to collect iron. They're like, we can use these to make stronger weapons. So he gets like the warrior guys on his side by like making them more sturdy weapons and stuff. There's one character you can't see, then he like gives her glasses. They start to make glass. They basically start to like super build up like this society kind of. It's really, there's no action, literally, like to the point that there's like a little small tournament arc kind of, but it was like 2 chapters.
Yeah,
it wasn't even really an arc.
There's not like chapters of fighting.
Yeah, which is cool, and it's interesting to see. Like, it's basically completely about like science and human evolution, and it's really interesting. And at first, I was kind of like, eh, and then when they ditch Taju and stuff, it gets really good after that.
An interesting take, because he was definitely set up as the main character.
Yeah, and they just completely are like, he's basically like, I don't remember what exactly he tells them. He's like, you guys kind of like go off and watch them or something. Watch Tsukasa's empire for me. But he can't know that I'm alive or that you guys are alive. Because I think he like tries to assassinate them or something, or he thinks they're dead. Or at least Senku's dead. I think he thinks at least Senku's dead. And that's who he's worried about, because he knows Senku's the smartest person. Only his mind can rival his like just raw physical power.
Right.
So that's really cool. It's not like as popular as MHA and stuff like that over here, but it's apparently really popular in Japan. I was watching. There's a YouTuber named Super Eye Patch Wolf. He basically did like a State of Shounen Jump in 2018 video, and he was basically comparing and contrasting like the table of contents is not the exact same as like the rankings they use. For those who don't know, like,
yeah, I've heard some myths and stuff about that, like the death slot and whatnot.
Exactly. He was just comparing and contrasting that to the rankings and like general success. He said it's like somewhat an indicator, but it's not like a hard one, because it's basically up to like the editor of the magazine and stuff, and he'll like randomly put like if something has like a new season, like usually of an anime, it'll usually get like towards the top of the magazine and stuff like that. But for the first 6 months of 2018, Dr. Stone had the 3rd highest ranking table of contents placing on average, behind Promised Neverland, which is really big in Japan and it's about to get an anime, and One Piece.
Oh, I didn't realize that about Promised Neverland.
Yeah, I think it's early next year is when its first season of anime is coming out, but that's really big over there. And what's the other one? I haven't read any of it. It's the Demon Hunter.
The Demon Hunter?
God, what's it called? Something no something.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's like really
Shokugeki no Soma.
Exactly. But no, it's really popular over there, and I think Doctor Stone will eventually get an anime adaptation just because it's so popular, and it'll be cool to see where like what they do, who gets it. It's just a really cool, interesting take on shonen, and it's different. Like I haven't really seen a science like we've seen multiple cooking manga and Shounen Jump. We've seen like rom-coms, gag stuff, sports manga, but I can't think of another like science battle like it's all about building society like that. It still has like its shonen tropes, and it's definitely is a like shonen, like the way the main character acts and like some of his mannerisms and stuff. Like he is always picking his ear. Shonen characters always like main characters always have like a weird tick or something like that, and just the designs. But man, the art's really good. The story's cool. Just the way the arcs are structured. About how it's like, this time I have to win over this part of the kingdom. Now I have to make iron weapons so we can get katanas. And now I have to cure this girl with penicillin so we can have like modern medicine and stuff. And it's just really cool the way like their arcs are structured around the conflicts are about like more low key, not like I have to beat the villain of the week or whatever. The villain of the week is coming up with a cure for I can't remember what the priestess girl had or sickness, but discovering penicillin or gathering this iron ore and stuff, and all the characters are quirky and funny, and I enjoy the humor of it, so I've been enjoying it a lot.
I quite like it.
I can't wait to get caught up on it and add it to my
it has surpassed Shokugeki no Soma in my read list order or whatever, like, or the way whenever the new chapters come out, I do it from least favorite to most favorite. So now I read Shokugeki no Soma before I read Dr. Stone.
Which all ones do you read from Shounen Jump, Mel?
I've cut down on my manga consumption by orders of magnitude. So now I pretty much like on the weekly drop, I think it's just Shokugeki no Soma, Dr. Stone, and My Hero.
Yeah.
Are on the same day, but throughout the week, I will also read The Promised Neverland and Seven Deadly Sins.
I was surprised. I mean, I thought Promised Neverland. We can talk about that for a little bit too. I thought that it would be way bigger over here than it would in Japan. I didn't know it was so big in Japan.
I didn't know either, but
I mean, it makes sense because it's getting an anime
too.
I mean, there's just been a bunch of like stuff come out lately that's getting big from last year. After we had a bunch of stuff drop off, like Robot X Laser Beam got canceled.
Yep.
Hungry Mary.
Yep.
U29 or U19 was one.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked into what the new stuff is.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. That's the what I was thinking of. It's getting an anime too. I haven't read any of that or know anything about it.
That's not even...
It's apparently really big in Japan too.
Is it off? Like, oh, wait. Yeah, that's not even... I'm not even seeing that in the list of Shounen Jump. Are you sure it's a Shounen Jump anime? No. Oh, there it is. It's... I don't know why I can see it. I see. It's in this week's ranking, it's just after Boku no Hero, at least, or just after Dr. Stone, but Dr. Stone's getting a color page this week, so I don't know how that... I think that affects the rankings weird, so... Yeah. Oh yeah, last week's ranking had Dr. Stone at number 1, basically, after the lead color page, which is Gintama, which is ending, I believe, soon. I think, I can't remember. Yeah, maybe I can't remember. Oh yeah, will reportedly end in a few chapters. Also, these rankings are weeks behind, so they're not like the previous week. But yeah, So yeah, Gintama. Yeah, I mean, it's no One Piece. Yeah, just had its 21st anniversary. Yeah, I don't know how quickly they would speed through it. Like, depends on the anime. Like, you wouldn't want it to have a typical shonen anime, I guess. You don't want Peridot to pick it up. Yeah, I dropped that a while ago. And Haikyuu. Haikyuu, or at least as the manga, has a lot of like matches with not the main characters or the main team. So I actually got kind of bored of it. Yeah, they kind of end up having like it's got some great moments, but they've ended up just dragging it on so much.
Manga where they find the electricity. Just the art's really good for a weekly manga.
Yeah.
If you've seen any of Sunken Rock, like, oh my god, I love his art style. But anyways, but yeah, I'm super excited. I've been basically reading like a few chapters of it every day at work when it's slow. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. It's different, and that's I think MHA is the only like traditional battle thing I'm reading or watching right now.
Still love that. Give me more of that.
Dude, MHA's been really good lately.
Anime as well. Like
I've loved the Endeavor arc.
Yeah.
So, but anyways.
Anyway, we're just rambling.
Yep. All right. This has been episode 63 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment, the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud, and Talk About Talk day by day on YouTube with the full video releasing on Friday. Check us out on Twitter, Podcast 5R, Facebook, P5R Podcast, Medin Stream, our stream, whenever it never happens. Yeah. And I think we'll be doing monthly mods next weekend, possibly. So Final Fantasy, that'll be coming out like probably a few days after we get done playing the mod. So be looking forward to that. Until next time, go read some Dr. Stone, watch some Sekiro trailers,
all the good stuff,
and do your thing. We'll talk to you later.
Later.
Bye. Bye. Bye.